Turn the mic on. Truth in the building. No filters. No politics. No apologies. Dr. Ken, let's go. We don't quit till the whole thing shake. Truth hit hard, make the whole world wait. Real talk loud when the system fade. Stand tall, even when the whole ground break. No fear, no foe, no retreat. Pressure make diamonds when the fire meet heat. All gas, no brakes. When the truth gon' speak, Dr. Ken in the booth.
Truth don't sleep.
Came from the bottom when survival was a law. Learn real quick what respect really costs. Everybody got opinions from afar, but they ain't never had to carry those scars. Built from pressure, discipline, pain. Some lose focus, some lose aim. Some sell souls just to chase that fame. I build my brick by brick, no shame. See the world get weak when it need a moment. Too many followers pretending they friends. Too many loudmouths scared to defend any real conviction when the pressure set in. But I stand on business, stand on code, stand on truth when the lies explode. Some fold up when the road gets cold. Some become legends when the story gets told. We don't quit till the whole thing shake. Truth hit hard, make the whole world wait. Real talk loud when the system fades. Stand tall, even when the whole ground breaks. No fear, no foe, no retreat. Pressure make diamonds when the fire meet heat. All gas, no brakes when the truth gon' speak. Dr. Ken is on.
Truth don't sleep.
Frank.
Hey.
Candid.
Straight to the point.
If nobody else gon' say it, I will. Yeah. Mic check, truth coming live again. Built for the storm, I don't hide.
Hey, what's going on there? Dr. Ken with you here on Dr. Ken's Truth on this nice afternoon. Looks like weather's going to do it today, so I might get out in some sun and do some things. I've had so many things going on this week, and it's only the second day of the week for me. I don't know when you're listening to this, but it's been one of them days. I'm telling you, so many things are going on. I got a couple questions because I'm trying to figure out what I need to do about something or do nothing. I don't know. I'm going to let you decide for me. Okay, y'all can get off this bestie stuff, Lucretia and Kawanda. And I don't care when I start my show, when I glance at the YouTube chat, Kawanda and Lucretia's on some, oh, my bestie, blah, 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 blah. So I want to say thanks for being here. I'm having a good time trying to, be positive, make myself have a great day. I got a couple things. I don't think I told you. And remind me in the YouTube chat because some of these stories have second and third and fourth not versions, but parts to it. So did I tell you about the road rage thing I had the other day? So somebody remind me. Did I tell you about the road rage piece I had the other day? It really wasn't road rage because I took care of it and made sure it wasn't. I'm just saying. And so I wanted to talk today, and I have a couple stories that I wanted to expound upon. Also want to remind you, you can support Dr. Ken's Truth. Thanks for being here. We're here every day live, Monday through Thursday from 4 o'clock Central Time to about 5 o'clock or whenever we kind of roll out of here. And don't forget to check out Sherwin, Hughes Views 414. He's also on his own YouTube channel, and we follow him here and all that fun stuff. So, all right. So I'm looking at this story on CBS 58, and it's in my, I'm trying to remember, was it Kathleen or Jasmine that told me top 5 before 5? So anyway, we're going to do my top 5 before 5. It's also part of my stories, part of the stories that I'm going to do in my 5 before 5. So I'm so frustrated and I'm so upset. Here's why. So I have a ritual. Somewhere in the city, I find a Starbucks to go to. I don't always go to the same Starbucks. Sometimes I go to the one um, in a certain area. Sometimes I'm headed somewhere south, somewhere I'm headed out of town, but I'll go to the one at the airport, right? That kind of Starbucks. I'm a fan. And so as I'm doing this, um, I'm driving back home. Now, I'm a black man driving on Lloyd Street in Wauwatosa. Some of you all may not care about that. Some of you all may say, oh, that's bringing the race card in and all that fun stuff. But I'm not. I'm doing the speed limit. I think speed limits in some parts are 25, then other parts are 30. And as I'm driving through, I see this truck and he's on my behind. Now, I drive a four-door car. It's one of those big trucks. Not, I can't really remember how big it was because I was so mad that this guy is like, if I tap my brakes, he'll crash into me. That's how close he was. Not close where if he taps his brakes and then he jams his brakes and now he's mad. I mean, had I tapped my brakes and slowed down that much, he would have hit me. So finally, I just took my foot off the gas and just start slowing down. Then he blows his horn and then he goes around me and he screams and hollers, you mother blankety blank blank, flips me the bird. I think he might have called me the N-word, but I'm not sure. I really didn't care. It was a white guy. He's screaming. Now, at this point, we're at about 59th, 58th, and Lloyd, headed eastbound. And I'm just driving. He goes around me, flips me the bird, screams and hollers, and then pulls in front of me and blocks the road. So if you're going straight and someone pulls in front of you and blocks the road, and I just sat there, and the guy just sat there. I guess he thought I was going to get out the car because I sat there, and he didn't get out the car. But of course, I sat there for literally about a second and a half. Then my training kicked in, and I put the car in reverse, backed up, got about 2 car lengths behind him, waited. He didn't move, so I drove around. When I drove around in the oncoming traffic to go around him, he sped up to try to like stop me from getting back into the right traffic. So finally I said, sir, what's your problem? You're driving too slow. I drove the speed limit. And I said, if you don't have a problem and you wanted to get around, then why don't you just go? You don't tell me to go. I said, you're complaining, you're flipping me the bird, you're screaming and hollering about I was driving too slow, but yet you're stopped here, taking up your own time because you're mad at me when you could just leave. I kid you not. The guy sped off, drove a half a block, made a left turn, and went north. And I thought to myself, I don't know if I should say the word, but who's spitting your Wheaties? Like who ruined your day that you would scream and holler and act a complete fool and then drive away like it was no big deal? And the weird part about it is, this is what I think. I think he had a weapon and he thought I was going to get out the car so he could shoot me. That's what I think. I think that he was waiting because he thought some hooligan or some drug dealer, it's a black guy, it's a drug dealer. And I just went, that's the kind of person that makes people bad. They make people look bad. They make white people look worse. White male, probably in his 50s, just irate, out of his mind, crazy. And at that point, I'm beyond the race thing. Like, I don't honestly, I don't think it was race. That guy was just in a way that day. And he was lit. I don't know what his problem was. I don't really care. But if this is what the city is coming to, I don't know. I don't know. Now, Jasmine said he wanted a reason to shoot. I said that could have been something he wanted to do, but I don't know if he was looking for a reason to do, because what we have to stop doing is using our experience and what we think and then applying it to somebody else and then assuming, well, that's right. Well, it's not. You have no idea. We have no idea why he did what he did. We can talk all the trash we want to, and oh, got a gun, and oh, it's a mental. Sincere said that type of mentality on his end don't make him safer either. No, it doesn't. But guess what? We don't know if it was mental illness or mentality. That might just be who he is. And what we have to do is stop assigning our experiences to somebody else, and then when they don't act the way we think they should act, all of a sudden think there's something wrong. Ain't nothing wrong. That's who he is. I'm okay with that. As long as he don't come in my space, as long as he don't, do that, I'm fine. So Tron said, wow, he didn't know who the blank was, coupled with the fact that you had that 44 Smith. I didn't have no 44 Smith & Wesson on my. Most times when drama hit, I drive away. So watch this. Todd said, I'm a white dude. I deal with stuff too. And the other idiots are white. Oh, I feel you. I feel you. See, I am a firm believer in understanding the fact that stupid knows no color. That it didn't matter if that guy was a white guy or a black guy. He's stupid. Is this, and there's nothing we can do. And I thought my day was fine. Today has been crazy. I'm going to tell you about work I got done on my house where the guy, I asked him for a receipt. He gives me a receipt. It's generic. It says contractor's receipt. It doesn't have his name on it. And he said, I can fill my name out and put it up. And I looked at him and I looked at the receipt and it's generic. And I'm like, so you don't even put your name on receipts that you give people because you don't want to report the money. Dude, stop. It's just one thing after the other today. Today just started that downward spiral. People just thinking you're crazy. So I told y'all last week I lost my wallet, right? Talked about I lost my wallet and I found it. I told you all right. Somebody hit me in a YouTube chat. I did tell you I lost my wallet last week, right? Now I got to sit and wait. Okay. So I went, got everything replaced one day. Cards in my Apple Pay the same day. Like, I didn't know that. That was pretty cool. Cards in my Apple Pay. Boom. They just showed up. Hey, your new one? You want us to send you one? Otherwise, it's in your phone. Bet. I'm good. Everything's set. And then I go to try to send somebody something and they said, hey, your Zelle's not working. Wait a minute. Where is Zelle? Zelle is not in my app anymore. So I called the place. I said, hey, Zelle's not in my. Well, let me backtrack. That was after I took 20 minutes on the phone playing circle jerk around. Press this number, and then it would recycle back to the same thing. Press this number, then it recycle back to, and then it finally said, okay, we'll send you through to a representative. I think they do that just to get you frustrated so you'll hang up and the calls go down. But anyway, I digress. So I finally talked to the person. The person tells me, well, there was a transaction on such and such a day, and on such and such a day, it was found to be possibly fraudulent, and so we froze it. And when you freeze it, they take it off your account. And I said, yeah, but that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days ago. Like, when were you supposed to contact me to tell me that I couldn't use Zelle in the middle of using Zelle? Well, we just thought it was fraudulent. How could it be fraudulent? Explain it to me. Well, this says such and such. I said, so if I send money from me to me in another account, I can't because it's my account, but I can send it to some generic third party and you would have no problem with it. Like, does that make any sense to you? Well, the fact that the names were the same. So, but my question was, when were you going to tell me I didn't have access to Zelle anymore? Oh, well, it would have to go to risk management, and then we have to call, and then we have to. And I said, but when were you going to tell me? Like, I really don't care about you. What are you going to tell about me? What are you going to tell me? Like, do I count? I am giving you my money, and you are making money off my money and paying me a minimal tax, like 29 cents. Oh, that's great. Can you help me? Explain to me why you keep explaining the same thing over, which doesn't make any sense because you're not telling me. Why they stopped using Zelle. Oh, it was fraudulent, but it wasn't. And I used it. It came from this account. So what's your point? No answer. So I wrote a letter to the board of directors of this particular financial institution because I know several people on it. And I was very nice and I got names and times and dates of when I talked to people. Yeah. See, Sir Charles be tripping. He be tripping. Private work, can't claim it. You can't send him a 1099. That guy was not smart. Well, actually, that's not true because they're a legitimate business. And that's their way of reporting low. I don't understand why people report lower. See, y'all got me on my thing. See, let me stop. So I had a dumb run around me with my payroll. It took 4 days. I'm not naming any names, and I'm not going to say what financial institution it was with. But one of the things that frustrated me so much is because, and I don't know if this is a thing, but I think it's a thing. I have a feeling I'm not 100%. It's not, so when people hear the timbre of your voice, and you sound black or white or Hispanic or Asian or whatever, I think people can become racist. No, not racist. Discriminatory, because everybody's discriminatory. Can become discriminatory and do things without really thinking that they're doing it. I actually heard this person on the phone that I was talking to, the representative, start to laugh. And then she muted the phone, and then she came back, and I said, "Are you laughing?" And then she came back because it took too long for her to respond. And I said, "Yeah." She said, "I'm not laughing." I said, "Let me speak to a supervisor." And then after I spoke to the supervisor, I told the supervisor, "Here's what's going to happen. Yeah, I'm sending this to the board of directors. And I know you think they're going to blow it off, but they're not going to blow it off because I'm going to share just how poor this institution is becoming. It's terrible. That's been my day. Wallet, everything, just going south. But that's how life is. Life does that. You think you're doing great. You're actually having a great time, and then, boom. And then I turned on the story on CBS 58. Majority of crime down in Milwaukee so far in 2026 per MPD. And as I'm looking at this story, I'm starting to think homicides in Milwaukee are down nearly 30% according to data provided by the Milwaukee Police Department. It's part of a trend we're seeing across nearly all crimes. What does nearly all crimes mean? I love the language people use. As of today, there have been 51 homicides, which is about 51 too many, within the city compared to 71 in 25 and 67 in 2024. And what did I say, 75? Anyway, in 2025 and 67 in 2024. Every single crime is down in the city. other than theft, which is up 4%. I think people aren't reporting crimes. You do understand that. People are not reporting crimes. That's just me. They said they have an arrest dashboard, a calls for service dashboard. Their public the call for service dashboard's always been there. It's delayed 15 minutes. The web pages show all arrests made by Milwaukee police from the past 6 months and all calls for service from the past 60 days, both on a rolling basis. Where are the numbers? See, when we talk about the numbers are down, when we talk about there's less, well, I'm okay with that. But at some point, what does that even mean? What does it mean? Yeah, I'm looking at multiple screens. What does it mean when we say, well, crime is down? Okay. Do you feel safe? If you live in Milwaukee, do you feel safe? Do you feel like you could walk down the street? Do you feel like you could sit around and sit outside, fall asleep in a chair? You know what I'm saying? And do that. I don't think so. A couple of these stories caught my attention that I'm gonna be talking about that just made me wonder, what exactly are we looking at? Right? I mean, it's kind of encouraging. Milwaukee Police Department, crime figures are down, declined, homicide, fatal shootings, non-fatal shootings, all that. Auto thefts. But then later you see this other headline that says a person found dead inside a stolen vehicle that's been set on fire. But that's like two crimes. Like stolen car and quite possibly a homicide. Which you think, okay, all right. But then there's another story, and I'm not bashing CBS 58, I'm just attributing. And there's another story that says a new law school poll, Marquette Law School poll, reports that Americans, especially younger generations, trust one another less than ever before. People born before 1960 are more than twice as likely to say that most people can be trusted than born in the 2000s. So which one of these is the majority of crime down? And is the person that's found dead, are they really dead? And was there really a car fire? And is there a steady decline by age and people's trust in one another? They're all true at the same time. Crime statistics measures frequency. They tell us how often a crime occurs, but they don't measure the impact. They don't measure tragedy. They don't measure the 9-year-old last week that was shot. They don't cover the change of a family forever. One body in a car that's on fire, in a car that's stolen, still shakes an entire neighborhood or family. That's why I hate the word trends. People's lived experiences can't be broken down to trends. That's why residents can hear that crime is down and still feel unsafe. Safety isn't the absence of crime. Safety is confidence in believing your children can play outside and you can walk to your car without getting hit in the head, and you know your neighbors, and you trust that if something goes wrong and you go help, somebody would actually come. I don't think people believe that. Not in Milwaukee. When trust declines, communities weaken. Even when crime improves, there's this invisible infrastructure in every successful city. You know what it's called? Trust. Sherman talked about it yesterday. We don't have businesses investing in the city of Milwaukee. Why? Trust. And some other entities that are stopping things from going on in the city of Milwaukee. Do you talk to your neighbors? Would you be a witness and go to court if something happened to your neighbor? Would you testify, or would you be scared because somebody might come after you? Police can reduce crime, arrest offenders, remove dangerous people, but the only people that can create a healthy neighborhood is us. We're the only ones that can do that, and we won't do it. The city won't do it. When they got rid of that data research center, they shot themselves in the foot. When they got rid of that and they let these knucklehead people come in and the aldermen and women on that committee voted it down, they're idiots. That was a perfect example. The only good thing that has come out of the last week of my life in Milwaukee is I lost my wallet and somebody turned it in. And I thought that that was the most righteous, heroic thing anyone has ever done. Basically for me, because I don't think I've ever lost my wallet before, ever in my entire life. I've never had. Well, till last week. But then I never got anything replaced that felt like, I'm trying to think, have I ever lost my wallet? No, never have. But anyway, time is over. So my top 5 before 5, it'll be pretty interesting. I think I got some pretty good ones for you. So just remember, you can go to drkenswag.printify.me and check out swag to support the show. Want to say thank you for being here. I ain't going nowhere. I'm just taking a break because when we come back, in the immortal words of Jasmine, but I can't say it because I gotta go. Let me double check. Let me do my due diligence because it's something I didn't do from the beginning of the day. I was so wired today. It's bad. I was so wired. By the way, make sure you go to at Dr. Ken's Truth on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. And check notification bell on LinkedIn and make sure you give me a thumbs up. Make sure everything's okay. And tell your friends about it. You can always go and grab a little something to support the show. Let me see who's up here. Hey, Kwanda. What's going on? Good evening. Study Hall. How's that? Sincere Ronnie Ray. See, it should be Ronnie Ray the Real. Or the real Ronnie Ray. I don't know. I'm just making it up. SC, what's going on? Todd. I talked about Todd. What's up, Todd? Not really a city girl. Hey, girl, what's going on? Lucretia. Then they get into their little Jasmine Jazz West. Okay, that's a lot. That's a lot. Hi, Sin and Sir. Okay, that's different. Let me see who else is up in here. Laurent, what's going on? He said, hey, everybody, just got back from a very important wedding at Madison Square Garden this weekend. No, you didn't. Quit lying. Don't nobody care about that wedding. And they wasn't the first one. Who was the first person to get married? The first celebrity to get married in Madison Square Garden. Anybody know? Anybody know? Sly Stone. Sylvester's. No. Sly. What's his name? Sly and the Family Stone. Yep. Sylvester Stone. Sly and the Family Stone. He got married to an actress at Madison Square Garden. He's the first one to do it. I'm just saying. I think it was 72-ish. So I'm just saying. So he wasn't first. Let me see. Hey, Lucretia, Jasmine Jazz West. Right, Lucretia, he can be our boomer bestie. Being a hater at Dr. Ken doesn't look good on you. You know I'm not hating yo bestie. You know that, right? You're just tripping. Curly Q say, good afternoon. See, she has sense. Good afternoon, Dr. Ken. See, she got sense. And then Not Really City Girl fell off the turnip truck. Hey, Jasmine. People are so ridiculous, entitled, and ignorant. Oh, you don't know the half of it. Aaron, what's going on? All right. Anybody else I'm missing before I beat him up? Before I beat up Sir Chance? Because, he be tripping. Okay. So it's been one of those days where I started looking at some of the stories, and they didn't make much sense to me. it really must be one of those days. And I almost took off. I'm not going to be here tomorrow. I almost took off today. Like, I'm done. Can't do it. Can't do it. And then I realized, no, I am going to do it. Right? Whew. So when we come back, top 5 before 5. Up next. Good evening and welcome. You're listening to Dr. Ken's Truth right here, Monday through Friday Monday through Thursday from 4 o'clock until we kind of get out of here and kind of roll out. Sometimes it's 4:30, sometimes it's 5 o'clock. Of course, I got to do my dude. Make sure you remember Sherwin Hughes Views 414. He's not on tonight, I don't believe. So Hughes Views at 7 Central Time. Everything is Central Time because, as a friend tells me, the real time is Eastern. No, it's not. Always mark it in the middle, always Central Time. That's how life is. I'm just saying. Because people in front of the Central Time are too forward. Okay, my picture's looking weird because I got to stop moving. Let me see if I can play with that because I love playing with that. Let's see if I can do that. See that? Oh. Let me see if I can do that. That's a little weirdo. Okay. Is that about right? All right. So I can look normal for Curly Q and SC and Quanda. And y'all know how y'all get because y'all start hollering at me and beating me up and all that. Did I hear that Sly Stone was amongst all the coverage? Yes, you did. Sly Stone was the first big time celebrity to get married at Madison Square Garden. That other chick and that football dude did the other day. I'm not bothered by that or dislike them in any way, shape, or form. I'm just being, Dr. Ken. I'm just being difficult. I'm just being, myself.
Number 5.
So from fox6now.com, the 2026 Milwaukee Air and Water Show lineup, they got venue upgrades and all that stuff. So it's going to be July 25th and 26th. So they got the U.S. Air Force F-16 Viper demo team on Saturday only, the Raptor demo team on Sunday only, this is all U.S. Air Force. Heritage Flight P-51 Mustang, the U.S. Marine Corps, the MV-22 Osprey demo team, the Air Force C-17 West Coast demo team, and on and on and on and on. Now, here is why I don't go to air shows. Don't I have a lot of reasons why I don't do a lot of stuff? But I'm just saying. Here's why I don't like this picture, and I got to either stop moving or set the picture. I got to work on that. Y'all tell me tomorrow when I take tomorrow off. I'll work on the picture. One reason why I don't go to air shows. I was sitting at an air show one year, family sitting there. We're sitting on North Point at North Avenue and Lake Drive, right? So you're sitting there. And the airplane flies and it swoops and it comes near you and you go, ooh, And the plane was coming straight at us, right? Kind of level to the water, and then it's going to shoot up. He shot up, it flamed out. And you saw the fire come out of one of the wings. And I thought to myself, well, that don't seem right. In the time I thought that didn't seem right, the pilot, you could see him restart and restarted the engine and shot straight up. And I said, you know what? I'm not coming to one of these, because if one of these planes crash, we could have been wiped out. Can you imagine? Beautiful day, going to the lakefront off North Point, see off North Avenue near the water tower, to see and get hit by a plane. Think about that. And I thought about that, and I said, no, I won't be going back to any of those.
Number 4.
Well, we talked about it. Majority of crime is down in Milwaukee so far. Maybe. I put a question in the chat. Do you feel safe? Curly Q said, yeah, it flamed out. Do you feel safe in the city of Milwaukee? And 67% said no. 33% said yes. But here's the question. Where you live at? Because if you don't live in Milwaukee, I don't know if you can answer that question. But then again, I get it, because you don't live in Milwaukee. And that's probably one of the reasons why you don't live in Milwaukee, because you want to feel safe. I get it. I like totally understand completely.
Number 3.
Carmelo Anthony's lawyer wants the judge removed over post-verdict remarks. So they're seeking to remove the judge who presided over his murder trial, arguing comments he made after the verdict created the appearance that he can no longer fairly oversee the remaining proceedings of the case. The motion to recuse this week, it was filed, centers on the remarks Collin County Judge James Roach Jr. made in media interviews following Anthony's conviction in the fatal stabbing of 17-year-old Austin Metcalf at a Frisco high school track meet. Defense attorneys contended the judge's public statements went beyond explaining courtroom procedure and instead reflected personal opinions about the trial, making his continued involvement inappropriate. So we'll see if that happens. We'll see if, anything goes. But Anthony's team is requesting a new trial, raising constitutional and legal challenges stemming from the trial, and is requesting that those issues be decided by an independent judge. So we're going to see how that goes. We're going to see what And as I talked about the other day, we talked about people driving and crime. Yeah.
Number 2.
Crash happened around 5:30 this morning at 13th and Oklahoma Avenue on the south side. Kind of weird. They're investigating a crash. Milwaukee Police Department, this from WISN 12. Left 3 people injured after a driver ran a red light on the city's south side. Happened around 5:30 a.m., 13th in Oklahoma, and a vehicle traveling southbound on 13th ran the red light. Struck another car heading westbound. Video obtained from the nearby gas station shows one vehicle striking the other, sending the car spinning and debris flying in the road. 21-year-old driver and 20-year-old passenger of the first vehicle, along with the 33-year-old driver of the second vehicle, were transported to the hospital for treatment. You know what I love about that? Police say it's an ongoing investigation. Nobody got arrested? Like, really? Nobody got arrested? And for the final.
Number 1.
So from JS Online, this is why, as I said the other day, sometimes it's a waste of time electing people to office. I'm just saying. So Mayor Cavalier Johnson slammed the federal probe into the 2020 presidential election as J.D. Vance heads to Milwaukee's largest city, Milwaukee, to talk about the Trump administration's work to combat fraud. Okay. Johnson, a Democrat, who also invited the Republican vice president to talk with election officials during his July 8th stop in Milwaukee. By the way, that's tomorrow. He said in a letter written to Vice President Vance, federal law enforcement agents deployed at the direction of the president's administration have been present in my city. My city. Wow, I was a little dictator. Interviewing election officials. I know of no justification for this activity. Evidence of wrongdoing is entirely absent. Oh, so now he's a cop. Oh, or is he a lawyer? No. Is he a cop? No. With no probable cause if it jumped up and smacked them in the head. But that's what we do. He added that Vance should see our election operation, talk to officials who conduct our elections, and scrutinize firsthand the extensive security and accuracy in place. Or you let the people who are doing the investigation come in and do it, and then that way they'll leave sooner. All right? Because at that point, it doesn't matter if you're a Democrat or Republican. I think it's a dumb move. Like you're actually coming in and looking at you lost. You lost in 2020. There's nothing you can do. Get over yourself. But invite them in. Come on, let's come in. Let's sit down. Let's do what we're doing. Look at everything. You see everything is fine. Everything is okay. Now go somewhere and sit down. I mean, you can't really do that to the president or the vice president, but at least you can speak your mind, right? This makes absolutely no sense. None whatsoever. That of all the things that are going on in the city, crime is down. Maybe because we're either, I don't know why crime is down. I'm going to have to go back and read the report and look at the actual numbers. What I do know is that we got too many potholes. And now my car rattles because of potholes in the city. That makes no sense. It makes no sense. Makes no sense. But yet here we are. Tripping about an investigation that may or may not turn up anything, but when the city goes to hell in a handbasket because people are afraid, it doesn't matter if your crime numbers are down. If you don't feel safe, it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. So it's unfortunate. All right, let me go back and check my YouTube chats. Let me check on this screen, check my YouTube chats and see what y'all talking about. Let me see what you all are talking about today. Uh-oh, where you go? There. Should I go back to the beginning? Let me go through, make sure everybody, and I didn't miss anybody. Okay, I did say not really a city girl, right? Okay. All right. I did, didn't I? Okay. But I think it's great for you all being here. LT, man, did you really go or you just tripping? Because I don't think you went. I don't think you went. Jasmine say, I don't recall, but do tell. Lucretia said, oh, Dr. Ken wants to be a bestie. No, I don't. Absolutely not. I absolutely do not. Don't even go there. Don't even go there. Don't even go there. And yes, Jasmine did say top 5 before 5. But I can't put I need a symbol. I don't know. Somebody can help me out with that. And then they started talking about that boomer bestie nonsense, and I had to go. Not really. City girl said get a dash cam. For what? Like, why would I get a dash cam? I got an iPhone. Just turn on my iPhone and start recording. Because then it'll go to the cloud. They'll find it, and then they'll have proof. Like, I don't know where a dash cam goes. Does it go to your phone? Does it go to the... I'm going to go through that nonsense. Curly Q says, say it, we on YouTube. No, some stuff you need to just hold on to. Because then when you say it on YouTube, it never goes away, and then somebody can hold it against you for the rest of your life. You can't believe you said that. Jasmine said he wanted a reason to shoot. We don't know that. like I said before, we don't know. We don't know. We don't know. I don't understand how Sir Chan said I inadvertently lost my wallet. How I inadvertently? No, it was a straight up mistake. It fell out my pocket and I didn't check. Like, well, what we done? Curly Q said I would feel I wouldn't feel safe falling asleep in a chair in any community. I don't know. That's not my measure if I feel safe. So then what's your measure? How do you measure feeling safe in the city? How? How do you measure feeling safe in the city? Not hearing about crime, not seeing crime, seeing the police, not seeing the police. Like what? Help me out. Wow. Todd said, good poll question. Would you testify? Would you testify for your neighbor whose house got broken in and you saw somebody leaving and you knew the person and you tested? Like, would you testify for that person? I wonder. Because right now, do you feel safe in Milwaukee? 71% say no. 29% say yes. So if that's the case, then let me ask another question. Would you, it's on YouTube, just make sure you go to YouTube at Dr. Ken's Truth, and you can subscribe and fill out the poll yourself, log in. Would you testify in court against a criminal? Got to learn how to spell. And it's a simple poll, yes or no. And I'm going to tell you my thoughts before. I'm just saying. But I just started it in the YouTube chat. Would you testify in court against a criminal? Yes or no? I've done it on several occasions. Does it depend? Well, it depends if it's my friend or if it's somebody I know. Is that something you would do? I don't know. Say it, we're on YouTube. Get out of here. Coke says, spitting your Wheaties cannot be what you intended to say. That no, it's not what I intended to say, but that's what I said. All right. So let me keep scrolling. I'm still turning out LT. Can't believe you said that. Ugh. That woman. Anyway, Curly Q said, no thanks to the Air and Water Show. Too loud. Really? It's an air and water show. It's supposed to be. It's supposed to be loud. Did you know that? And of course, my poll, do you feel safe in Milwaukee? It closed with 71% saying no and 29% saying yes. So, that's appreciated. Curly Q said, if I feel okay to go out and enjoy myself doing what I like to do, I do. Does crime prevent you from living? Doesn't means you don't feel. Live in a nice neighborhood. This is what Jasmine said. Live in a nice neighborhood near the hop. My parents said never testify on anything. So what would happen? Can I throw an analogy out? Because we only got about 11 minutes left. Can you imagine if a child was killed or raped or abducted or beaten, or an elderly person? And somebody went to help because that child was yours or that elderly person was one of your parents. And somebody walked up to you and said, my parents said never testify on anything. And I saw the person and I could really find them for you and get them. And we could have them in jail and they'd be in jail for the rest of their lives, or at least, 10, 20, 30, 40 years. But my parents told me don't testify on anything. So I don't. But can you imagine that? Can you imagine that child growing older, that parent passing away, and their children or them confronting you saying, why didn't you help? Like we could have saved, or that person goes on to kill or hurt other people and you could have stopped it. But my mama said, and and of course I'm using this as an example, I'm kind of hamming it up. My mama said, don't. Now, I know many people that are quiet. Parents said never testify. I get it. I understand it because the DA's office is in charge of keeping you safe and they don't necessarily do a great job. And so then what do? Right? Curly Q say LT know how to push your buttons. LOL. Me and LT go way back. Like me and LT go back to the first day of the truth. Like, yep. And I've seen him and I've seen his work on TV. So, quit being, oh, you jealous? You jealous? All right, you must be jealous. So I'm gonna be nice. Curly Q said it could be loud. So we talked about that. Jasmine said, don't pull my heartstrings. They say it because they worry for my safety. If it was a safe way for me to tell, I would. Yes, call 911, call anonymously and say you don't want to be part of the call. You don't want to do this or that. But they need to get at such and such a place right away. Now, I don't know. Kids, I might be the person that's in jail. And I might be the person in trouble because I don't do kids well. Like if you come after a kid, I'm not gonna be the guy that, I gotta go the opposite direction. I don't tolerate people injuring people who can't take up for themselves. The vulnerable, children, older people, you might disappear. I'm just saying, you might disappear. Can't do that. Can't do it. Curly Q said, I can't imagine seeing a crime committed against someone and not testifying. I just think it's interesting not testifying. Maybe we'll talk about that on Thursday, about testifying. Would you actually testify against somebody that you need to? What does all that take? Try to explain the criminal justice system to people so they understand how it works, how it actually works, not how we think it works or think it should work. So I don't know. That's just me. I don't really trust that people understand the weight of their actions and how they can save lives and create a great world for a good many people. And they just decide they don't. Quanda said, thanks for today's session. Have a good night. Oh, wait. Yeah, it's coming. Aaron said, I'm testifying because if don't, someone else will be a victim. Very true. Wow. Sage words. He said it. So I'm not going to be here tomorrow. I'm going to be hanging out, getting some work done. I got a long meeting. And so I'm going to be tied up with that on tomorrow. And then starting, because I'm going to be on vacation coming up. So that'll be later in July. So we got to work something out. Because I got to do my show, during those times. I mean, if y'all love me. If y'all don't love me, y'all don't holler at me in the YouTube chat. Or you can hit me up on LinkedIn or Facebook. But if you don't hit me on the YouTube chat, I don't know. And of course, if you have any topics, any ideas that you have for topics, things that you just want to chop up. Todd did that in the beginning. He threw out topics and questions and I kind of rode with it and did it. And so you can too. Just hit me at drkenstruth@gmail.com and I'll look it up and read it through and we'll go from there. Sincere said, proudly I would, and my neighbors to tune in, same, do the same, do the right thing. That is true. That is true. I got to slow down reading, right? It's when the ADHD kick in and I read it too fast and then it didn't make any sense and I got to go back and read it. Meanwhile, I've read it like 4 times and still didn't get it. That's Sincere's fault. See, that time I didn't blame Quanda. I'm just saying. Have a great evening. God bless. Take care. And of course, I got to end the poll. Would you testify in court against a criminal? Thank God. 83% said yes. 17% said no. I should have gave y'all another example, like, or another choice, like, it depends. Would that make sense? I don't know. Would that make sense? Maybe so. Then again, maybe not.
Quiet.
So some of y'all wouldn't do it for anybody. Some of y'all would do it, but I think there's a way to do it safely. And so that's what I really want to dive into on Thursday. What's a safe way to interface with the criminal justice system and not be a head? I'm just saying. God bless. Take care. Later, y'all. I'm out.